Happy holidays, everybody. I hope you guys are spending your holidays with your family. Anywho, Christmas has come early for me. I'm down at the laundromat, and Santa left me a nice little error code on my dryer. And right next to that dryer, he left me another broke-ass dryer. But not to worry, friends. I am a professional. I'm going to fix both of these dryers. Well, I'm going to fix one of them today, for sure. The other one, I don't have the part I need for it. But the no gas issue, if you ever get a no gas issue, I'm going to show you what to check. All right, guys, so we are behind the dryer. We've taken off the panel, and this is what it looks like behind the dryer with no panels. Just to give you a quick little look at what it looks like. There it is, behind the scenes, baby. You have power comes in. It hits those buses right there, the little black box, that's a bus. One's for your top and one's for your bottom. It is essentially, the top and the bottom, they're essentially the same thing, just copy paste. But power comes in. Here you have this little reset button, the little red light that you see on right now. That guy, if you ever have an error code, you can hit that guy and it'll get your machine to work again, but only temporarily, right? Sometimes that's the fix and sometimes that's not the fix. Sometimes the error will just come back. But today, for our gas error, we're gonna look at this guy right here. That white wire, it leads to a little probe that goes inside this silver box. Inside this silver box, there's actually fire and flames that will come. And that probe, the job of that probe is like the eyeballs. It's there to tell the machine, hey, your flame is on, hey, your flame is on. But if that thing doesn't see a flame because it's dirty, then the machine will think, hey, nothing's going on, and it'll tell you, hey, you have a gas issue. That's one of the possibilities, right? And I think that's the issue today. But I don't know that shit for sure, but we're gonna find out. Anyways, let us begin our troubleshooting. So for that, to take out that little white probe, the flame sensor, you literally just gotta disconnect those two screws right there. And it will pop out. Okay, so here we are. The flame rod is now out. It's kind of hard to see if it's dirty or not. Right, oh, there you go, that's a good shot. You can see there is some, the flame rod doesn't look like a uniform color. It's not shiny. It's got almost like two different colors to it. So what we gotta do is we gotta clean that flame rod, because if it's not clean, if it's dirty, like it is right now, then the machine thinks there's no flame going on, and then it will shut down, right? So like I said earlier, the flame rod is the eyeballs. Here's some flames going on. The rod gets hot. It sends an electrical signal. It tells the machine, hey, you got flame. But if this thing is dirty and the flame's going and it's not creating that electrical signal, the machine thinks it has no gas, it's got no fire, so it just shuts down. So let's clean this. How are we going to clean this? If you have alcohol, you can wipe it down with alcohol, but I don't have alcohol. So I'm going to spray Windex onto a towel, and I'm going to wipe it down, and then I'm going to take one of these little scrubs, and then I'm going to lightly brush off all the dirt that I can, and then that should fix our error. All right, I just did some cleaning, and here's the finished product. The probe. Do you see the difference in that probe? It now looks way more uniform. It's all kind of silver at the very top. You can still see some dirt, but for the most part, this probe is pretty clean, much cleaner than it was before. So now we gotta try it out, see if that was actual the fix. In case something like this happens to you, remember, all you need is some Windex, a microfiber towel. So I sprayed Windex onto my towel, and then I lightly stroked the probe. And once I stroked it, I hit it with a little pad. You could use like a dish pad. Be very careful, just very light pressure, right? So I put the probe, sandwiched it in there, and just lightly clean it off. Don't go hard on that thing. But now we'll put it back together And obviously we had to run it to see if we actually fixed it. All right, guys. All right, as you can see, it is much later. I've been troubleshooting this damn machine for maybe about 2 hours now. But I figured out what was wrong with it. Check it out. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. Okay, this black line right here is where the excuse me, it's where the duct or the gas comes in. Right, gas comes in and it shoots out that way into your burner box. Well, what I did is I cleaned the probe, and the probe didn't fix the issue. So then I remembered my military training, and I said, "Hey, dummy, go next door and copy whatever they're doing." Military training. So I looked at this guy right here, and I tried to find any discrepancies, anything different between the good guy, good dryer, and the bad dryer. I looked around for a bit, and finally poked my eyeballs in there, in that little rectangular opening. And I said, "Hey, there's a little brass thing sticking out there. Whatever that brass thing is." And then I came over here to this brass thing, and I was like, "Oh, there's something just sitting there in that little rectangular opening. It's sitting there on the ground." And I was like, "What is that?" So then I took the brass off, and it was this guy. I don't know how he had come loose, and he was just sitting there. So I just took it off. I poked my little fingers in there, and I was able to get it out. But the question is, how did that little fitting become loose? Aliens? Epstein? I don't know. FBI? I don't know how that thing became loose, but hopefully we're about to fix it. And it only took me 2 hours to figure it out. I'm a freaking genius. Okay, guys, I'm back in my truck. Turns out that was not the fix. Even after finding the orifice, the little nipple, brass nipple, apart from the rest of the system, the line, it still didn't fix it. So I'm going home now to feed it. But tomorrow we will try again.